Hi kids, so we have already done the explanation part of section formula. In this video, let us solve sums from exercise 11 ML Aggarwal based on section formula. Just a recap, in a coordinate plane, if the line segment AB, where A is x1, y1 and B is x2, y2, is divided by the point cxy in the ratio m is to n internally, then x is mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n and y is my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. We have already done this, okay? And if C is your midpoint, then x is x1 plus x2 by 2, y is y1 plus y2 by 2. And in a coordinate plane, if A, B, C are vertices of a triangle, A is x1, y1, B is x2, y2, and C is x3, y3, then the coordinate of the centroid xy is given as x equals to x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 and y equals to y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. We have done all this, okay? Now, directly to the sum, let us see one part 2. Find the midpoint. They have given A, suppose, and this is B. 5, comma minus 11 and 4, comma 3. So this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So x midpoint. Suppose C is your midpoint, x comma y. Then x will be what? x1 plus x2 by 2, which is 5 plus 4 by 2. That's 9 by 2. Leave it like this. And your y will be y1 plus y2 by 2. That's minus 11 plus 3 by 2. That's minus 8 by 2. That's minus 4. Which means the coordinate of midpoint in this case will be 9 by 2 comma minus 4. Am I clear? Let us see one part 3. Same. Suppose this is your point A, this is B. The point A is A plus 3 comma 5B. And the point B is 2A minus 1 comma 3B plus 4. So this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. Suppose C is your midpoint, x comma y. We have taken this as midpoint. Then x will be x1 plus x2 by 2, isn't it? So that's 3a, this is plus 2 by 2. Keep it like this. And y will be again y1 plus y2 by 2, isn't it? That's 8b plus 4 by 2. 2 taken common, so 4a plus 2 by 2. So the coordinate of the midpoint is 3a plus 2 by 2 comma 4a plus 2. Done. Now number 3, P divides the distance between A and B. So if this is your A, draw the diagram. It's always helpful, okay? And this is your B, and P divides AB in the ratio 2:1. They've given. Calculate the coordinate of P. Suppose the coordinate is x comma y. This is your M, N. This is your x1, y1. This is your x2, y2. So x will be what? mx2. I'll just write the formula. mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n, which is 2 multiplied by 1. So 2 multiplied by 1. mx2 plus n, which is 1, into x1 by m plus n. That's 2 plus 1. So that's how much? 2 ones are 2 minus 2 by 3. That's 0 by 3. That's 0. Done. Similarly, I'll find y. See, my2 plus ny1. Remember the formulas, okay? By m plus n. So y is what? my2 is 2 multiplied by 4 plus ny1, which means 1 multiplied by 1 by m plus n. So that's 4 2s are 8 plus 1 1s are 1. That's 9 by 3. That's 3, which means the coordinate of the point P, rather not C, P is 0 comma 3. That just use the formula. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at 4 part 1. Very interesting. Find the coordinate of the point of trisection of the line segment joining point 3, minus 3 and 6, 9. Which means, if I can draw it, suppose this is your point A, 3, minus 3, and this is your point B, 6, 9. Now it is trisected, which means divided into 3 equal parts, P and Q. They want the coordinate of P and Q. Now look carefully. Trisected, which means AP is to PQ is to QB is 1 is to 1 is to 1. No doubt in that. Which means if I draw A, P and B, this is 3, minus 3. This is 6, 9, and the ratio AP is to PB will be 1 is to 2. And suppose this is X, Y. Then we'll use the formula. X is what? mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. This is your m, this is your n, this is your x1, y1, this is your x2, y2. So mx2, that's 1 multiplied by 6 plus nx1, that's 2 multiplied by 3 by m plus n. So that's how much? 6 plus 6, 12 by 3, that's 4. Okay, similarly we'll get y. See, y is what? my2, which means 1 multiplied by 9 plus ny1, which is 2 multiplied by minus 3 by 1 plus 2, which is 9. 9 minus 6, 3. 3 by 3 is 1, which means the coordinate of P is 4, 1. Done. Now I'll draw A, Q, B. Just look carefully. Same fashion. I'm drawing A, Q. A is what? 3, minus 3. Your B is 6, 9. And your Q, we don't know, suppose A, B. Suppose. And the ratio is 2 is to 1 now. AQ is to QB is 2 is to 1. Now A will be what? mx2, that's 2 multiplied by 6 plus nx1, which is 1 into 3 by m plus n. That's 6 2 is 12 plus 3, 15 by 3, that's 5. What will be B? Same. my2, that's 2 multiplied by 9 plus 1 multiplied by minus 3 by m plus n, isn't it? 2 multiplied by 9, 1 multiplied by minus 3, so that's 18 minus 3, that's 15. 15 by 3 is 5 again, which means the coordinate of Q is 5, 5. Done. We got the coordinate of P and Q, what they've asked for, this only. Now the line segment joining the point number 5 part 1, the line segment joining the point A 3, 2 and 5 and B 5, 1 is divided at the point P in the ratio 1 is to 2, and it lies on the line 3x minus 18y plus k equals to 0. Find the value of k. Now first of all you find P. Look over here, this is your A 3, 2. This is your B, which is 5, 1, and this is our P, suppose x, y in the ratio 1 is to 2. They have told. So what is x? Diagram bit m x2, which means m x2, 1 5 is a 5 plus n x1, that's 3 2 is a 6 by m plus n, that's 3, 11 by 3. And what is y? m y2, that's 1 into 1 is 1 plus n y1, that's 2 2 is a 4 by m plus n, that's 5 by 3. So the coordinate of P is 11 by 3, 5 by 3. Done. Now what they have told, this point P lies on the line 3x minus 18y plus 8 equals to 0, which means this point will satisfy the line, which means when we put instead of x 11 by 3 instead of y 5 by 13, this equation should be satisfied, which means can I do 3, since the point lies on the line, okay, minus 18 5 by 3 plus k. See, this becomes an equation in k. We can easily solve it. So that's 6 times, so 11 minus 30 plus k equals to 0, which means k equals to 90. That's the answer. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 6. Very interesting. Find the coordinate of the point which is 3/4 of the way from A to B. This simply means, suppose this is A, this is B. Okay. Then the point P is 3/4 of the way from A to B, which means AP is to AB. The ratio is 3:4. Which means, can I write AP? Suppose P is over here. Then AB I can write AP plus PB is 3/4. See, actually we want the ratio of AP is to PB. So this, when we solve it, so 4 times AP equals to 3 times AP plus 3 times PB, which means AP by PB, if you find out, 3:1, which means the ratio is 3:1. AP is to PB. Now A we know 3,1 and B we know minus 2,5. Suppose this is x, y. Can we have the formula? X will be what? mx2, that's 3 multiplied by minus 2 plus nx1, that's 1 multiplied by 3 by m plus n, that's 3 plus 1, that's minus 6 plus 3, that's minus 3/4. Done. And y will be similarly my2, that's 3 multiplied by 5 plus ny1, that's 1 multiplied by 1 by 3 plus 1. That's how much? 3 5 is the 15 plus 1, that's 16/4, that's 4, which means the coordinate of P will be minus 3/4, comma 4. Done. Which is 3/4 of the way from A to B. Now number 7, very interesting. We have done reflection. Okay, the concept we are going to use over here. If the point P, look over here, P 3, minus 5 is reflected to P dash in the x-axis. So we know on reflection on x-axis, the sign of ordinate changes, which means P dash will be 3, 5. Done. P dash in the reflection x-axis. Also P on reflection the y-axis is mapped as P double dash, which means P again when reflected on y-axis gives you P double dash. Now reflection on y-axis, we know the sign of x coordinate changes, which is minus 3, minus 5. So first part is find the coordinate of P dash, which is 3, 5, and P double dash, which is minus 3, minus 5. Done. Number 2, distance P dash, P double dash. We know the distance formula, y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. Suppose this is your x1 y1 and this is your x2 y2. Okay, so this is equal to root of, look carefully, y2 minus y1, which means minus 5 minus 5, which is minus 10 whole square, plus x2 minus x1, which means minus 3 and minus 3, that's minus 6 whole square. That's root of 100 plus 36, that's root of 136. Actually, when we factorize it 4 times, this will be 4 3s, which means twice root 34 unit. That is the distance between P dash, P double dash. That distance formula. Next, find the middle point of the line segment P dash, P double dash, which means this. We need to find the midpoint. Suppose your C is the midpoint, x, y. Then we know x is what? x1 plus x2 by 2 which means 3 minus 3 by 2, which is 0. And what will be y? y1 plus y2 by 2, which means 5 minus 5 by 2, which is 0, which means c is nothing but 0 comma 0, which is the origin in a coordinate plane. Done. Last, on which coordinate axis does the middle point of the line segment p double dash lies? Which means p and p double dash, we need to find the midpoint and see on which axis it lies. Very easy. See, your p is 3 comma minus 5 and your p double dash is minus 3 comma minus 5. So suppose q is the midpoint, then q will be what? 3 minus 3 by 2, the coordinate, and minus 5 minus 5 by 2, which means the coordinate of q is nothing but this is 0 comma minus 5, and 0 comma minus 5 lies on y-axis, isn't it? Because the abscissa is 0. Any point on y-axis is 0 comma b, we know that. So this lies in the y-axis. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 11. The coordinate of the midpoint of the line segment PQ are 1 and minus 2. The coordinate of P are minus 3 and 2. Find the coordinate of Q. Very easy, see. This is your point P. This is your point Q, and suppose the coordinate, the midpoint is R. 1 comma minus 2. They have asked the coordinate of Q, and P is given as minus 3 comma 2. Suppose this is x2 comma y2. Then we know x is equal to x1 plus x2 by 2, which means 2 equals to minus 3 plus x2, which means x2 equals to 5. Similarly, y equals to y1 plus y2 by 2, which means minus 4 equals to 2 plus y2, which means y2 equals to minus 6, which means the coordinate of q will be 5 comma minus 6. Done. Very easy. Now look, number 12. AB is the diameter of the circle with center C, which means this is your A, B, and center is C. C's coordinate is given minus 2 comma 5. If the point A is 3 comma minus 7, find the length of the radius. Radius is nothing but AC and the coordinate of B. We just did a sum like this, So first of all, the radius AC. We know the formula, distance formula. y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. x1 y1, x2 y2. So your radius is 5 minus of minus 7. That's 5 plus 7 whole square plus minus 2 minus 3 whole square, which means your AC is nothing but 12 square is 144 and minus 5 square is 25. So that's root 169, which means AC is 13 unit. No doubt in that. And this, we just did it. Suppose this is x2 comma y2. Then x, which is minus 2, equals to x1, 3 plus x2 by 2. Midpoint formula. X equals to x1 plus x2 by 2, which means minus 4 equals to 3 plus x2, which means x2 equals to minus 7. Similarly, 5 is equal to y1 plus y2 by 2, which means 10 equals to minus 7 plus y2. y2 equals to 17, which means the coordinate of B is minus 7 comma 17. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 14. Very interesting. The line segment joining, I'll just draw the diagram also. A, that's minus 1 comma 5 by 3, and B, A comma 5, is divided in the ratio 1:3 at P. At P, this is divided as 1:3. the point where the line segment AB intersect the y-axis. This clearly means that P lies on y-axis, which means if you take the coordinate of P, any point on y-axis is 0 comma B. I've already told you. Calculate the value of A and the coordinate of P. Very easy. First of all, see, x equals to mx2, that's 1 multiplied by A, plus nx1, that's 3 multiplied by minus 1, by m plus n, that's 1 plus 3, which means 0 equals to A minus 3 by 4, which means 0 equals to A minus 3, which means A equals to 3. Got the value of A? The coordinate of P is 0 comma B. Just find Y, which is B. So Y equals to, we know, my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. Now Y is here, B over here. my2, which is 1 multiplied by 5. That's 1 multiplied by 5 plus ny1. That's 3 multiplied by 5 by 3. By m plus n, that's 1 plus 3. That's B equals to 5 plus 5, 10 by 4. That's 5 by 2. Which means the coordinate of P will be 0 comma 5 by 2. Done. Now look at 16 part 1. In what ratio the point 5 comma 4 divides the line segment joining the point 2 comma 1 and 7 comma 6. Very easy. See, there's a point, suppose A 2 comma 1. There's another point B, suppose 7 comma 6. And P divides AB in the ratio m is to n, and the coordinate of P is 5 comma 4. We need to find m is to n. Very simple. See, x equals to mx2, that's 7m, plus nx1, that's 2n, by m plus n, which means 5 times m plus n equals to 7m plus twice n, which means 5m plus 5n equals to 7n minus 2n, which means minus 2m equals to minus 3n, which means m by n equals to 3 by 2, which means your required ratio is nothing but 3:2. Done. Okay, now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 17. Very interesting. The line segment joining A, that's 2 comma 3, and B, that's 6 comma minus 5, is intersected by x-axis at the point K, which means K lies on x-axis, which means K can be written as A comma 0. Any point on x-axis, the abscissa has a value and the ordinate is always 0. For example, 5 comma 0, 2 comma 0, minus 1 comma 0. These all points lie on the x-axis. Okay, it lies on x-axis. Be careful. Write down the ordinate of K, which is 0. Done. Hence, find the ratio in which K divides AB. Also find the coordinate of K. First of all, let the ratio be m is to n. Now, we know y, which is 0. So just put the value. Y equals to my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. So y is 0, m 5, y2 minus 5. So that's minus 5m plus ny1, which means n into 3, that's 3n by m plus n. M plus n multiplied by 0 is 0. So what remains? Minus 5m equals to 3n. Sorry, plus 3n, which means 5m equals to 3n, which means m by n is 3 by 5, which means the required ratio is 3:5, isn't it? Which means the ratio is 3:5. Done. Now find the value of A. We know x is what? mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. X is what? A, the unknown quantity. mx2, which means 3 multiplied by 6, that's 18, plus n x1, that's 5 multiplied by 2, that's 10. By m plus n, that's 5 plus 3, that's 8. So a is 28 by 8, isn't it? This is 4 7 times, 4 2 times, which means a is 7 by 2, which means the coordinate of k will be 7 by 2 comma 0. Done. Now look at sum number 19. Very interesting. Calculate the ratio in which the line segment joining this and this 3 4 and minus 2 1 is divided by the y-axis. Very easy. Same way. See, suppose your A point is 3 comma 4 and your B point is minus 2 comma 1 is divided by a point P, and P lies on y-axis. Okay, is divided by the y-axis. Suppose the point is P, where it is divided by the y-axis. So the coordinate of P has to be in the form of 0 comma B. Any point on y-axis is 0 comma B. Okay. Now suppose the ratio is m is to n. Now we know the value of x, isn't it? Same way, over here we knew the value of y, which was 0. Over here we knew the value of, this was on x-axis, this was on y-axis. So see, x equals to mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. I'll use the formula. So 0 equals to mx2 plus minus 2m plus n x1, that's 3n by m plus n into 0 is 0, equals to minus 2m plus 3n, which means 2m equals to 3n, which means m is to n is 3 is to 2. So the ratio is 3 is to 2. Clear? Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 22. Very interesting. Calculate the length of the median through the vertex A of a triangle ABC whose vertices are this. Draw the diagram first. See. Suppose this is your A 7 comma minus 3. This is your B, which is 5 comma 3. This is your C, that's 3 comma minus 1. And suppose AM is the median. Okay. Then we know M is the midpoint of BC. They have asked for the length of AM. So suppose this is x comma y, then x will be x1 plus x2 by 2. Midpoint formula. So that's 8 by 2, that's 4. And y will be y1 plus y2 by 2. 3 minus 1 by 2. That's 2 by 2, that's 1. Which means the coordinate of M is 4 comma 1. Am I correct? Now, the distance AM, very easy. Distance formula. A is what? 7 comma minus 3. And your M is what? 4 comma 1. So AM, the distance, y2 minus y1, that's 1, minus of minus 3 becomes plus 3, y1, and then x2 minus x1 whole square. Am I clear? That's the distance formula. Remember, root over of y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. So that's AM equals to, that's 4 square, that's 16, plus that's minus 3 square, that's 9, that's root 25. So your AM is nothing but 5 unit. Done. Okay. Now let us see sum number 23. 3 consecutive vertices of a parallelogram ABCD are 1 comma 2, A, B is 1 comma 0 and C is 4 comma 0. Find the fourth vertex D. Very easy. See, just draw the diagram and we should know the property of a parallelogram. See, consecutive, which means A is 1 comma 2, B is 1 comma 0, C is 4 comma 0, and D we don't know. Now one thing we know, that in a parallelogram the diagonal bisect each other, which means for AC O is the midpoint, and for BD also O is the midpoint. First find O. Let us see. A is 1 comma 2 and your B your C is 4 comma 0, and this is your O. Suppose this is x comma y. O is the midpoint, so x will be what? 1 plus 4 by 2, x1 plus x2 by 2, that's 5 by 2, and your y will be 2 plus 0 by 2, that's 2 by 2, that's 1, which means the coordinate of O is nothing but 5 by 2 comma 1. Now if you look at BD, and this is your O. Again, B's coordinate is no 1 comma 0, O's coordinate we know 5 by 2 comma 1, and this D's coordinate we don't know. Suppose this is x2 comma y2. Then we know x is equal to x1 plus x2 by 2, isn't it? Which means x2 is 4, y is y1 plus y2 by 2, which means y2 is 2, which means the coordinate of D is 4 comma 2. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 28. Find the coordinate of the vertices of a triangle, the middle point of whose sides are 0 comma half, half comma half, and half comma 0. Just I'll draw a diagram. Look over here. Suppose I take A as the first vertex, x1 comma y1, B as the second vertex, x2 comma y2, and C as the third vertex, x3 comma y3. Then we know the midpoints are 0 comma half. Suppose the midpoint of this is 0 comma half. The midpoint of BC is half comma half, and the midpoint of AC is half comma 0. Now look carefully. If you look A, B, the line segment A, which is x1 y1, and B, which is x2 y2, and the midpoint is 0 comma half. So can I say 0 equals to x1 plus x2 by 2, midpoint formula, okay, and y equals to y1 plus y2 by 2, which is we got x1 plus x2 equals to 0, and y1 plus y2 equals to 1. Then look at BC. When you look at the line B and C, B is x2 y2, C is x3 y3, okay, and your midpoint is half comma half. So we know x equals to x1 plus x2, which means x2 plus x3 by 2, which means x2 plus x3 equals to 1, y2 plus y3 equals to, same way, see, by 2 equals to half, which means y2 plus y3 equals to 1. So we got these two equations. See, we're getting equations, okay? Similarly, if I solve AC, look over here, A is x1 y1, C is x3 y3, and the midpoint is half comma 0. Midpoint is half comma 0. So can I say half equals to x1 plus x3 by 2, which means x1 plus x3 equals to 1, and y1 plus y3 by 2 equals to 0, which means y1 plus y3 equals to 0. Look carefully. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equation and 6 unknown quantity. Now look, x1 plus x2 is 0. So can I write x1 equals to minus x2? Okay, suppose this is your equation 1, 2, 3, 4, this is your 5, and this is your equation 6. So from 1 I got this. Now I'll put this in equation 5. So equation 5 is x1 plus x3 equals to 1, which means instead of x1 I can put minus x2 plus x3 equals to 1. And number 3 equation is x2 plus x3 is 1. Add these two equations. So 2x3 equals to 2, which means x3 equals to 1. If x3 is 1, put it over here. So x1 plus 1 equals to 1, which means x1 equals to 0. If x1 is 0, definitely x2 is 0. So we got x1 0, x2 0, and x3 as 1. Am I clear? Now look, for y, similarly, look, from here, can I write y1 equals to minus y3 and put this value over here in equation 2. So y1 plus y2 is 1, which means instead of y1, can I put minus y3 plus y2 equals to 1? And number 4 equation is what? y2 plus y3 is equal to 1. Just add these two. So twice of y2 equals to 2, which means y2 equals to 1. Once you get y2 equals to 1, put it over here. y1 plus 1 equals to 1, which means y1 equals to 0. Once you get y1 as 0, then y3 will be also 0. Isn't it? So, the coordinate of A will be x1 comma y1, which means 0 comma y1 is 0. Coordinate of B, x2 comma y2, which means 0 and y2 is 1. C, x3 comma y3, which is 1 comma 0. So these are the coordinate of A, B and C. Now look at sum number 29. Show by section formula that the point 3 comma minus 2, 5 comma 2 and 8 comma 8 are collinear, which means they lie on the same straight line. Okay. Now what I'll do, how to do this sum? If A, B and C lies on the same line, then if I find the ratio with respect to value of x and then I find the ratio with respect to value y, if they both come same, then A, B and C lies on the same straight line. Okay, just see how. X, suppose the ratio is m is to n. X equals to m x2, that's 8m, plus n x1, that's 3n, by m plus n. Just look carefully. So that's 5m plus 5n equals to 8m plus 3n. So that's minus 3m equals to minus 2n, which means m by n is 2 by 3, which means the ratio is 2:3. This I got with the help of value of x. Now find the ratio with the value of y. If it comes same, then I am in the same straight line. So y equals to my2 plus ny1, that's minus 2n by m plus n. Am I clear or not? So that's 2m plus 2n equals to 8m minus 2n, which means if you look, so that's minus 6m equals to minus 4n, which means m by n equals to 4 by 6, that's 2:3, which means the ratio is same in both the cases. Hence A, B, C lie on the same straight line, which means they are collinear. Done. Now let us look at the next sum. Now look at sum number 33. Very easy. The midpoint of the line segment AB shown in the adjoining diagram is 4 comma minus 3. So the midpoint is this. Write down the coordinate of A and B. Very easy. Look over here. A, B, and this is the midpoint, which is 4 comma minus 3. Now A lies on the x-axis, so we can take A as A comma 0 or x comma 0, whatever. B lies on the y-axis, so I can take 0 comma B. I told you any point on y-axis is 0 comma B. Any point on x-axis is A comma 0. Now we'll use midpoint formula. So 4 equals to A plus 0 by 2. which means a equals to 8, minus 3 equals to 0 plus b by 2, which means b equals to minus 6, which means the coordinate of a is 8 comma 0 and the coordinate of b is 0 comma minus 6. Done. Now let us see the last sum. 34. Find the coordinate of the centroid of the triangle whose vertices are minus 1, 3, 1, minus 1 and 5, 1. Very easy. This is x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Then the centroid, suppose I take x comma y. Then x is what? x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, which is 5 by 3. And y is what? y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. That's 3 by 3. That's 1. Which means the coordinate of centroid is 5 by 3 comma 1. Okay, so keep it till here in this video. In the next video we'll solve another chapter, which was equation of a straight line. Till then, take care.